Every girl that has come to us has a story. And the stories are all horrific.
The look on their faces is so powerful. It's heart-wrenching and heartwarming all at the same time.
Just to have them come in and realize that I'm safe here. I can trust these people. No one's going to abuse me here. This is home.
Home is here, in the Ukrainian countryside, 80 kilometers northeast of Lviv. A brick and mortar building, financed and built with support from NASHI, a charity based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
We didn't know exactly how we were going to do it, but we've really thought we need to have a place of our own. We need to have a place where girls can be safe.
It was on a trip to Ukraine when Savelia Kerneski witnessed human trafficking right in front of her eyes. That disturbing sight inspired a new vision, and NASHI was created around a kitchen table in Saskatoon.
We didn't know what we were going to do, but we thought that if we could change one person's life, that we've changed not only their world, but our world.
Savelia and her NASHI volunteers made a commitment to give these forgotten Ukrainian girls hope and a home.
And we saw those little girls that have been abused, could have been abused. We saw them having a home. That's what we wanted. That's of anything that we wanted that.
"15 years later, this home is a reality. Today, these girls are safe for the first time in their young lives. Safe from neglect and abuse. Safe from predators who snatch and sell children into the international and domestic sex trade. Safe thanks to NASHI. This group of girls is the first to come under the protection of Maple Leaf House, a safe house in the rustic farm village of Stayanyov, Ukraine, where the girls live, learn, and receive lots of hugs and love from the people in their lives who want to protect them. I had the opportunity to meet with all the girls on a trip to Ukraine, and the stories I heard touched me to the core. Some of the girls had been horribly battered, physically, emotionally, and sexually. 2 sisters were being groomed by their father for a life on the streets. Others were simply abandoned to state-run orphanages. Each and every one of them had a story that would break your heart. But now, their stories will have a very different ending. Built and funded by NASHI, Maple Leaf House is a dream come true. Not only for the girls, but for the Canadian volunteers and donors who support it, one Perogy at a time. Every year since 2006, hundreds of people buy tickets to take part in Perogy Paradise and a chance to eat this timeless and tasty Ukrainian staple.
150,000 perhaps? And a lot of pinching. We figure that if you times that by 10, that's 10, so it'd be what, 150,000 times 10 pinches of love. Who would have thought when we started this that, how many thousands later, that we would still be going on, and every year it is more successful and better and bigger. It's wonderful.
With the help of scores of volunteers from across Saskatchewan, they pinched tens of thousands of pierogies, educated the public about human trafficking, and with the help from donations across Canada, raised enough money to buy and renovate this ramshackle building in Stayanyov.
The job was a lot bigger than we thought. It was hard work. We were literally hammers and chisels and buckets.
Construction began in 2009 using workers from the village and backed by a small army of Canadian volunteers who made several trips to Sayanyov to work alongside the locals. It was hard work, but slowly Maple Leaf House began to take shape.
We're now into day 6 of our trip, and I've already gained some insightful appreciation as to why we're here.
They were so committed that they were going day and night, and they were breaking off tiles and hauling garbage out. But they saw what could happen. They saw that it could be a place of healing, a place of, education, and a loving environment.
There. It was a true labor of love, with every tile smashed and every pierogi devoured. Marianne Hladun, a founding member of NASHI, could envision what the house would look like as she toured it during early construction.
So this is going to be the common room where there'll be some couches on either side, and there'll be a television, and it'll have a real home feel.
We need to all...
It took almost 6 years of planning, fundraising, and building.
We have a common mission. We became one family.
It's such an important moment for us. And I just want to thank you. And we want this to be really good for the kids of Ukraine, and that's why we're here.
We have an international human rights crisis of epic proportions where girls and women are being raped across the world. And people have got to speak out. And we can speak out because we have the power to do it and make certain that changes are done. So I want to congratulate all of you guys because you've done a phenomenal job. A phenomenal job. And you got a lot to be proud of. Maple Leaf House finally comes to life. And in the fall of 2015, the newly minted Maple Leaf House received its first occupants. A group of girls much younger than NASHI had originally planned.
Suddenly the realities in Ukraine have changed, and what we were then told was that it was the girls from the younger orphanages that were really the targets. Not only were they targets for human trafficking, but they were being groomed. So kids from ages of 5 to 12, before they go into the senior orphanages, those were the kids that were in need of desperate help. So the project has changed, the project has evolved.
Some of the girls we chose to live at the house came from orphanages, but others we rescued from an environment no child should be raised in.
The girls who are arriving at the Maple Leaf Center, what state were they in?
There was a girl, she basically was thrown out of school because she was so filthy and so dirty, and lice was in her hair. A girl from the orphanage, she was never diagnosed having a problem with her vision. She only has 20% vision. She also came to us extremely malnourished, as many of these girls do.
We've had girls that came in off the street who were living literally on the street at 5 and 8 years old. We've had girls that come from the orphanage and who had been systematically abused there in preparation for sale. They're all in different condition, but the biggest thing is what they had was no hope. There's a lot of tight chest moments when you realize just how much damage has been done to those girls and how much more would have been done if the safe house was not available to them.
They, at that age, are coming to us damaged. I have no idea how damaged they would be if they were 14, 15, 16-year-olds. It's a horrible thing to witness. However, on the other side of it is the fact that we are making a difference in their lives. If we can prevent them from going into, whether it be the sex trade, the domestic trade, the sweatshops, that's wonderful.
You're just so overcome by the magnitude of the issue, but also relieved that the girls you're looking at right now are not going to go through that.
But what is a safe house without someone to look after the girls? Someone they can trust and love. Maria Bilas is a Ukrainian caregiver NASHI hired to run Maple Leaf House along with a small, dedicated staff. But to the girls who live here, Maria is like a mother. She remembers how frightened the girls were when they first arrived, unable to trust or understand that life could be better.
Every child's history is heartbreaking. All the children here have really hard stories. They have nobody to care, nobody to visit them. They have a constant fear they will be abandoned. When they come here, they need constant reassurance we will be here. I think they know this is a healing home, and they almost can't believe it.
Over time, the girls' health improves. They learn to trust and share their feelings, fit in at school in the village, make new friends, and always return home to Maria at the end of the day.
I really, really love them. As they go off to school, I send them off with positive thoughts and to have a good day and a peaceful day, and they always return to a loving home. No matter what they've been up to, they will still be loved. And the most important thing is they share things with one another. They have to learn to love and support one another just like a family does.
I think there was one story when we got here that really describes the whole project. One of the girls, having come from an orphanage where each of the children has a cot, and you're in a room with 6, 8, 10, 12 other children in one room. And when she got here, there's of course a full twin bed. And she asked the staff, how come the bed is so big? Because she'd never seen a bed that big. She never had a bed that big. And they said, well, because you're going to grow, and that's your bed until you're ready to leave.
We know that the orphanage system in Ukraine, in a lot of places, does not work. It's a warehouse for kids. They're not growing at all. They're just stored. This is a place where kids can grow, and they can have as close to a normal life as possible. Bigger family than most, but still close to normal life as possible.
This is a home where these girls know when they come in, they're going to be there until such time as they are self-sufficient.
The girls are taught to help out around the house. They make their beds, do the laundry, and help out in the kitchen. A few are learning to make, you guessed it, Perogy. The amazing thing about Maple Leaf House is that it is not an orphanage that warehouses children. It's a home with its own unique and caring extended family. The girls may have come together as strangers, but now see themselves as sisters. And they also know their extended family extends far beyond this house. Because every summer for the past few years, scores of NASHI volunteers and supporters from Saskatoon and across Canada have come to Stayaniv to see for themselves this safe house they've been a part of. And now they get to meet the girls who live here.
You gotta roll. Okay, there's one for you. No.
Many can't speak the language, but yet they all somehow find ways to connect. And it didn't take long before the girls were giving tours and proudly showing off their new home.
I really enjoyed that the girls fit and belonged, and they all felt like sisters.
It felt like a safe place to be. And when I met the staff, Maria and the other staff, it was just, it was a warm, welcoming place, and I knew it was the right thing.
These people have really taken on the role as parents for these girls, however they can be that. So the atmosphere is very calm. The girls felt like they were being free. They were being kids. And yes, I know the stories and the evenings and the nights probably are very different than what we saw, but it was more than I expected. It was a healing place.
When you see how happy those little girls are and how normal they are, it is very humbling. Yes, I just wanted to cry. It was so wonderful.
Having captured this latest visit on his camera, Andrew remembers when the first group of girls arrived.
Just to see the change from day to day, almost despair and not knowing what's coming next for a meal even, to planning a future life, what they want to be when they finish school. That kind of thing is a massive step, and it's so great to see.
Picked up a little girl, she was light, and she thought that was pretty fun, so I swung her around, and then the next one would come and swing her around, and another one would come and swing her around. That's how we communicated.
Maria is overwhelmed watching her girls interact with their Canadian family.
Lots of emotions. I want to cry, not from bad things, cry from happiness. There are wonderful people in the world who care for children and want to give support and help.
That would be pretty important, to be connected, for them to feel connected to their Canadian family. They need somebody, and they need somebody very badly, and they need help, and we're there for them, and I just think it's wonderful.
I think that these girls have a great opportunity, and it sort of makes you feel glad that you are part of this. It's just a small group of girls, but it's a start.
After several emotional and fun-filled days together, the girls and the volunteers say goodbye. It's a tearful farewell. But some of the NASHI supporters are already planning to come back.
My boyfriend and I already decided that we're sending our best pictures there for them, Christmas cards, and it's just trying to keep the connection. And he already wants to come back, so we're coming back.
Thanks to NASHI, we have this building, and these children have a future. They're concerned about the girls' daily lives, what they are doing each day, and how they're growing. This is important to them, and our girls know they have a big NASHI family in Canada.
And all the volunteers also believe that they have daughters in Ukraine. And what an amazing, amazing family that is going to become.
We have right now, over a dozen grandkids living in Stoyanov. That's what it boils down to. So we care for them accordingly.
For NASHI, this is a lifelong commitment.
They're going to be our kids and our responsibility for 15, 18 years. This is not a 1 year, 2 year deal.
We are committed for the rest of their lives and for the rest of our lives to make sure that everything they need, they will have the tools and the resources and the esteem and the confidence to know that they can actually dream, and will help make it happen.
If they want to go to a college, if they want to go to a technical school, we will be supporting them, because it's not enough just to have them go to grade 12. It's not enough. And so what we have made the commitment is that we are going to be educating them so that they are employable.
Savelia believes Maple Leaf House can be a model for others to replicate anywhere in the world. All it takes is money, commitment, a bit of sweat, and a whole lot of heart.
There's something about the something about the depth, something about knowing it's the right thing. And there's lots of right things to be done in the world, lots of suffering to be shared. But NASHI is an organization that I think certainly demonstrates that.
NASHI in Ukrainian means our children, which is at the heart of Savelya's goal of getting this organization off the ground.
There's a sense of pride, and there's really a sense of people saw our vision, and they are now with us, be it supporters, be it, the people that attend, the Perogy nights, and they have ownership on the Maple Leaf Center. And the more people we can get over, the more they're going to become part of feeling that NASHI community, part of the family, part of the team.
Ivanka. One person can make a difference, can really make a difference. It's a contagious feeling of love that we transfer onto when we pinch the pierogies and when we eat the pierogies, and the funds that we glean from those and what it does in Ukraine. It's amazing.
It's a combination of a huge problem and then a small solution that hopefully will spread.
Everybody in this world should be doing something, some good. We can't save all of them. We absolutely can't save all of them. But we can save one at a time, as the saying goes. But we can save even more. And what we hope is those girls will continue and they will help others. And that's the wish, for the future. That's the hope for the future. And I believe the Maple Leaf Center is a beacon of hope. It's that light.